Alrighty. Oh, wow. All right. 3 weeks out. Today is June 4th or June 5th. And my first bodybuilding show is on June 22nd. 16 days. So that's actually closer to 2 weeks out, to tell you the truth. Very exciting. Very exciting. Um, Shit, man. Where to begin? Where to begin? Energy is pretty fucking low on a daily basis. Energy is low. I start the morning slow. Every movement feels kind of laborious. My limbs feel heavy. And I really only have energy to work out, get my daily cardio, cook, make the food, and honestly, that's about it. Am I complaining? Hell no. Hell no. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. Honestly, everything is beautiful. This entire process and journey has been really incredibly fulfilling. Incredibly fulfilling. The amount of people that I've made, the amount of connections, just the fitness community. Shout out to the fitness community. It's a beautiful community. Just a bunch of people that are interested in improving themselves in whatever way that they can. I think I think that's the way that you're supposed to live life, to tell you the truth. If you're not growing, you're wilting like a flower. You got to blossom. Do what you can to blossom. And in my opinion, that's what the fitness community is all about, blossoming into a better you. I see our trajectory so far as myself and my training partner, Valley Muscles' trajectory in the fitness industry to be quite significant. I see us as the faces of natural bodybuilding and making that as relevant, more relevant than it currently is. Right now, it's not very relevant at all. But as we continue to make waves, a lot of people like to say we have a lot of motion right now. That's what we run into people saying. I'm telling you, I exist in the moments of calorie consumption. I really do. I exist in the moments of consuming calories. And when I'm not consuming calories, I'm literally just staring off into space, waiting until I get to consume calories again. But that's neither here nor there. But what I was gonna say is, so this past weekend on Saturday, it was Larry Wheels's big gym opening, which was a big fitness event in California, OneGen gym. So there were hundreds of people there. Me and Valley were able to arrive earlier because one of the brands that sponsor Larry, White Rabbit, which is an energy drink, great energy drink if you're into that kind of thing. 0 or 5 calories. They use kratom, which is like a mushroom extract, very tasty. Um, and it also doesn't give you those jitters that other energy drinks do. Anyway, our coach and Valley, and I guess myself, are all sponsored by White Rabbit. So we were all able to show up a bit earlier before the gym opened, and we were able to get some posing practice in. Anyway, I say all this story because once the gym opened and the people started flooding in, that one of the comments that me and Valley kept on getting was like, "Oh, you guys have so much motion right now. I'm trying to get, like become a part of this natural bodybuilding movement." And later in the week, a couple days ago, I had to ask Valley like what his interpretation of when a person says that to us, like what does it mean for us to have motion? And his response was that like we just keep popping up everywhere. Like, we pop up on social media, on other people's pages, on the Zoo Culture YouTube channel or Sarah Safari's YouTube channel, or maybe we did something with a content creator that's not even in the fitness world, but we did it together and now we're popping up there. So that was his interpretation of motion, where it's like we're just showing up in all these places, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until, you know, it just scales up. That's the beauty of doing a thing over and over again. Repetition. It's called progressive overload for a reason. You start here and then you see yourself getting bigger, and it relates to not just fitness, it relates to everything. It relates to everything. Progressive overload. Grow, get better at the thing that you're doing right now. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are progressive overloading with our content and our networking and yada, yada, yada. Let's talk about bad news. Yeah, we can get into bad news. Bad news is I am not financially stable. I'm not. I'm not. We are probably going to go into this show on June 22nd, and I'm going to be scraping the barrel so far as my bank account is concerned. And we're probably going to win. Both of us, me and Valley Muscle, are probably going to win our overalls. We are showing up with incredible conditioning, great size, great shape, great symmetry, great posing. And we're showing up as those guys. You know, like we're the ones with the story behind our backs. If we were to lose, it would have to be to someone who is just out of this world fucking great. And in my opinion, we are those out of this world fucking great. We are the ones with the amazing genetics. We are the ones carrying this natural bodybuilding movement flag. And I also feel like it creates a better story if we were to win. And to me, that's all the reason enough there is to win. Because the story sounds better with a victory as opposed to a loss. That's just my opinion. Whatever happens, happens. And, like, you know, we'll shuffle the cards as they are dealt. But I expect victory. Anyway, after the show date, June 23rd, I know that my priority is going to be income, because I have been neglecting that aspect of my life in preparation for this show. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of the fact that, like, I can't balance the prioritization of income while preparing for this show. That is not a good thing. And it puts me and my living situation, it just puts me in danger. And it is a little stressful. Yeah, it is a little stressful because you don't know, I don't know what I'm going to have to do in order to get out of the situation. The reason I don't get too stressed out about it is because at the end of the day, this is America. There are dozens, hundreds, thousands of ways to make money. It's just a matter as to what are you willing to do and how much time are you willing to dedicate towards that thing to actually make money. And, like, that's really the tricky part. Me, obviously, I don't want to dedicate any amount of time to the acquisition of money. I don't want to dedicate any time to it, and that's why I'm failing at it, because all of my time I want to dedicate towards bodybuilding, which is another great thing that I would just comment on really quick. I was telling my coach the other day, it's like, I don't have to be anybody else besides a bodybuilder right now. I don't have to have any other kind of identity. If I want to stare off into space for 2 hours, my excuse can be I just had a tough leg day and I'm tired. Or, I mean, I don't even have to say tough leg day. I'm just fucking tired. I'm on 2,300 calories a day. I'm using every single calorie. I'm using all the carbs that they have me on, 145 grams of carbs. I am going through my nutrition and I'm tired as a result. I'm being underfed in order to get shredded. So I don't need an excuse to be tired. I'm just tired. And I like it so much because, like, I don't have to really have much of a personality if I don't want to. Sure, I can be my charismatic, bubbly, happy self, but if I'm not feeling it in a specific moment, it's accepted, because what I'm doing is more important than, like, being sociable. which is completely my jam. I'm not really a naturally social person, so this really suits me. But yeah, man. Um, so far as money stuff is concerned, I see me and everyone on my team. That goes for Valley Muscle. That goes for Coach Theron. That goes for the entire team at Desert Metro. That goes to Vito Cayeve and his family, and my roommate Bertrand Cooper. Like, I see everyone on the team prospering as a result of pursuing this story, this narrative, and this passion with relentless conviction. I see all of us being as wealthy and successful as we want, as long as I stay this path. How long will it take? How long will it take for me to become a millionaire? Maybe by the end of this year, that would be interesting. I don't know what would have to happen in order for me to become a millionaire by the end of this year. Now, 3 years? That seems very, very feasible. I can understand the sequence of events that would lead me to becoming a millionaire within 3 years. 100%. I could definitely see that very clearly. It would involve sponsorships. It would require some virality on social media. It would probably involve some selling, some sales, things of that nature. And all that can be scaled up, obviously, over the next 3 years, but that's what I imagine it would require. So far as this year is concerned, what I would like to have happen, if I could just call the shots, we go to this show on June 22nd. We show out. We look amazing. Get a bunch of buzz from it. Get some photos taken. And then we start collecting sponsorships. Maybe a sponsorship for Chulaware, the board shorts that I purchased and I wear to the show. Maybe they sponsor me. Or maybe a gym clothing brand like, let's see, Gymshark. Or Raw Gear. Shout out Raw Gear. Zoo Culture, Bradley Martin. They sponsor me, and that turns into something, yada, yada, yada. And then just from there, it's like we just run with the narrative. We run with the narrative that we are the faces of natural bodybuilding, and we're here to make a statement. Coach is even thinking that after this show, depending on how it goes, our next show, which would be the intention of getting our pro card and becoming IFBB pros, we do that again against enhanced athletes. And he's eyeing a show in November out in Bahamas. So we would go there to compete with the intention of getting our pro card there against people that take performance-enhancing drugs. And honestly, that just fuels the narrative. Like, we are those guys, and we don't care if you're natural or enhanced. We're looking to take names and kick ass, which I'm into. At some point, I know that the end of the journey has me assembling a group of 10 to 15 natural bodybuilders that are all just fucking the top of the food chain, and we all share the stage together, and we see who is the best natural bodybuilder during this time, during this era, and the intention is for it to be me. If it's not, then I want to see the person who wins. I'll just put it to you like that. This is coffee and protein powder. Delicious. It's giving me life. What else? I'm feeling rejuvenated from this coffee. I'm like, it's hitting. There's this moment that I'll just take a moment to describe, because it was a special moment at Larry Wheels' gym opening event. There's a lot of moments. Man, there's just so much excitement in store for the future, but I'll focus on this one moment right now. So one of my favorite natural bodybuilders, if not potentially my favorite natural bodybuilders, is Josh Manoy. I just think his physique as a natural competitor is amazing. Just the amount of size that he has been able to put on. He's got great symmetry, and he's a fantastic aesthetic physique. That's something that he prioritizes too. He prioritizes aesthetics just like I do. So of course, I would look up to him because our our goals are very similar so far as creating a aesthetic physique. Also, he got me into posing. On that note, so there's this moment where he's posing with his videographer, and I swing by because it's a packed gym, and I swing by. I'm like, hey man, I want to hop in posing with you. And he goes like, I'm actually looking for the posing room. I'm like, I know where that is. I was here earlier posing, so let me take you to the posing room. So we start walking across the gym, and Valley's just chilling off by the side. I'm like, I collect Valley. Hey man, we're about to go hit some posing with Josh. Let's go in the posing room. I scoop up Coach. I scoop up Coach. So like we're just like amassing like a group of people. We head into the posing room. There's like 3 dudes there that weren't competitive. They were just kind of into the fitness world and community. They quickly moved over to the side once the big boys walked into the posing room. Now the room is just decked out in like mirrors, top to bottom, wall to wall, just like everywhere you look is a mirror, and the lighting is beautiful. So we go in there and we're getting ready, like we're getting set up, and I talk to Coach. I slide into his ear, and I'm like, that's the guy, that's my competition. Like, that's the person that I have to beat in order to be the Natty King. And Coach is like, I see him. So he's checking Josh out, and like we're just getting ready for this fucking pose off. And the videographer, he like sets up at the at the head of the mirror wall, and we just go into this fucking flow, this like ooh, just hitting all these poses, just like from one smooth transition to the next. And for me, it felt like the culmination of 6 months of posing practice, because me and Valley had trained with Josh, I don't know, back in February. We were still on a bulk. We had not touched posing really whatsoever. So we did a leg day with Josh back in February-ish. And at the end of the leg day, we go into, it was at Gold's Gym, my first time at the legendary Mecca, Gold's Gym. And we finish leg day and we go into the room with the mirrors so we can practice posing. I felt so fat that I even kept my shirt on because like I was at the peak of my bulk. I had the fat face because I wasn't bulking properly. So I kept my shirt on and I just let Josh do his thing, and he's showing us posing. And, fast forward to now, and we're in June, and, I didn't feel like a beginner anymore. I felt like almost like an equal next to these two, Josh and Valley, and we're hitting these poses, and I felt like a professional. Yeah, I felt like a professional. And it was a really beautiful moment. It was like a movie. It felt very cinematic with like the videographer taking photos and us just like vibing. There was like no thought as to what we were going to do next. It was just flow, flow, flow. It was amazing. It was amazing. It almost feels like you had to be there. We took some pictures and we posted them on social media, and a couple of the comments were like, yo, these shots are epic. These are some of the most epic gym pics I've ever seen. And I could not agree more. I could not agree more. In fact, I might even make this the thumbnail for this video, just because those pictures deserve to be seen. I texted my roommate afterwards and I was like, yo, like this is exactly why I'm telling this story, to like recreate iconic moments that can live in the minds of the collective consciousness forever. Like that's why I'm doing this, so that we can actually make memories, make moments happen, and that was a significant moment, at least in my opinion. And many more, just because you want to tell a great story. Just think about that for anyone who's watching. It's like you want to do something cool, with your life, chase after it, be fearless, be okay with like not knowing how it's going to work, and just have confidence that it's like, hey man, it's your life. If you die, in the pursuit of the thing that you're passionate about, then like all the more for it, man. It's better to die chasing after something you love than to be safe and sad and unhappy with your life. You know, just, I don't know. That's just how I look at it. Honestly, I feel like I could just chill in here and talk all day. It's like one of those kinds of days. This coffee's really hitting. Um, I'm not gonna do that though, even though I feel like I could. But yeah, man, 16 days out. It is such a bright future ahead after we overcome this hurdle of being broke. um, hmm, I guess I could cut it, even though I could keep talking. But yeah, I'll cut it. Cool. I'll see you guys in the next one.